Hey, Escalation Squad! Hope you're doing absolutely amazing today. It's John from Reddit Escalating Stories, and we're back with another wild Reddit drama that just keeps getting worse. If you love watching these stories escalate out of control, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell. Means the world. Let's dive straight into it. The story comes from You Scribbly Dibbly, and it says, "My best friend, 25F, has been ignoring me for a year and now wants me, 25F, to give her fiancé a job. I met my best friend Sarah on our first day of college, and we lived together for the following 3 years. After college, I moved to LA to work in film, and she moved home with her parents to save up for grad school. I haven't seen her in person since graduation, but for the first year after college we texted every day, spoke on the phone often, and Skyped almost weekly. This continued until she randomly cut off contact with me out of the blue. I eventually got so worried about her that I called her mom, who awkwardly apologized and told me that Sarah's been spending time with her new boyfriend. After 4 months of not hearing a word from her, she finally texted briefly to tell me about Joe. From the little she's told me and what I've gathered from his Facebook, Joe is an abrasive, homophobic misogynist. Sarah's very forward-thinking, but has a history of picking disrespectful boyfriends. This latest one seems to be sticking. I saw on Facebook a few weeks ago that they're engaged. Obviously, I was really hurt that I had to find out through social media. But it gets worse. I've been fortunate career-wise, and a few months ago I got hired to write a big-budget movie for a major studio. An interview I did got shared by one of our mutual friends, which I assume is how Sarah saw it. Yesterday, I got a message from her asking if I could get Joe a job. Apparently, he wants to be a TV writer. Nowhere in her message did she congratulate me or ask how I'm doing. Obviously, I have no intention of trying to get Joe a job, but I can't help it. I really want my friend back. When she's not in a relationship, Sarah is the greatest, most supportive friend ever. It's like she transforms into somebody I don't know as soon as she gets a boyfriend. Is there any hope for our friendship? Or is it time to say goodbye for good? Commenter: what's so great about someone who ignores you for a year? I don't know if I would want to save a sinking ship like that. Think about where your life will be when you finish writing your big-budget film. All the people and connections you will make. New friends on the horizon, if you ask me. OOP replies, "Thanks, that helps. I think you're right, and it's time to move forward." Commenter: is it possible that the disrespectful boyfriends she chooses are also controlling and attempting to cut her off from her friends? Or does she just vanish every time she has a boyfriend regardless of what kind of guy he is? In the first case, there's hope for your friendship if she gets away from him, and likely some therapy to help her recover from the damage those kinds of relationships can cause. In the second, there really isn't. OOP replies, "I can't even tell you how much this comment resonates. For whatever reason, she naturally gravitates towards men who are super controlling. Always has. She's told me that her greatest fear is dying alone, and I think that informs all of her relationships in a really negative way." Commenter: so you realize you were just a surrogate for a boyfriend until she found another? She's not homosexual, so she can't be as close with you as with a man. But as soon as a man comes along, she doesn't need you anymore. You are just the person keeping her from dying alone until a more compatible option comes along. OOP replies, "Wow, that's depressingly accurate. She's even joked about how she wishes I was a man, or that we were gay, so she wouldn't have to bother finding a boyfriend. I never thought about it like that, and now I feel used. Commenter: What the hell? Even if you had reason to believe that this guy is a decent person, you know absolutely nothing about his talents or work ethic. It's beyond inappropriate, and rude besides, to just stick her hand out, expecting you to drop a job into it for fiancé. That is not how you network. I have a feeling it was Joe's idea to ask you. It's not up to me to tell you whether or not to attempt to mend the bridge she's burning. You could make a case either way, but if you respond at all, don't mention the request. Ask her how she's doing, and let her know you've been thinking of her. Tell her you were worried when she disappeared, and you hope she's doing okay and is happy. Let her respond to that how she will. If she ignores it or just repeats the request, I think you can safely say she's not interested in being your friend. The suspicious side of me also says that he may be watching her correspondence, and she doesn't feel free to open up to you, but take that with a grain of salt. I'm sorry, OP. It's hard watching friends make terrible romantic choices, Moreso, when they cut you out while doing it. OOP replies, I'm absolutely convinced that it was Joe's idea to ask. Honestly, this might sound paranoid, but I almost felt like he had logged onto her account and sent it himself based on the way it was written. I think this might be the approach I take. Torn between your suggestion and just ignoring it, and I can't decide which one is making me sadder. Thanks for your input. It's really helpful. Update. I called Sarah's home phone the morning after I got her message. Her mom answered and told me she was out with Joe. We chatted for a few minutes, and then she suddenly started crying. She told me she feels like she's lost her daughter. She said she would ask Sarah to call me. I didn't get a call back. The next day, I got a surprise visit from Lily, who Sarah and I were really good friends with in college. Lily and I had fallen out of touch, and I was really excited to see her again. That night, I took her to a party. An actor that Sarah always liked was there, and Lily ended up hitting it off with him and posting a picture of the three of us doing shots on Facebook. That night, I got a text from Sarah saying, "Since when do you hang out with ACT?" I was extremely annoyed and didn't respond. An hour later, she texted, "I guess you're too much of a celebrity to respond." I spent about an hour ranting to poor Lily, and then composed an email to Sarah. I think I kept it pretty unemotional. Basically, I told her that she had really hurt me by cutting me out of her life, and I didn't think it was fair for her to suddenly reappear with no explanation or apology. I also said that I think her relationship with Joe is toxic, and that I hope she overcomes her fear of being alone, so that she can stop jumping into unhealthy relationships. Finally, I told her that both her mother and I are worried about her. But I don't have the time or emotional energy to keep trying anymore. If she wants to get in touch when she's fixed her personal issues, I'll be open to listening. Until then, we're not friends anymore. I'm upset, I'm tired, but mostly, I'm done. I hope I made the right decision. The too long didn't read summary is, best friend is no longer my friend. Commenter: I guess you're too much of a celebrity to respond. Wow. Boy, was I wrong about her. If this is how she tries to get back into your life, and no, I don't think we can chalk this one up to Joe. She's truly no longer your friend. Unbelievably rude. I'm deeply sorry for her mother. It must be extremely painful to see your daughter lose herself so thoroughly. But I think you're justified in being done. That is about as disappointing an update as I could have imagined. I'm sorry. OP. OOP replies, I didn't throw her under the bus in any way. In my conversation with Sarah's mother, she explicitly asked me to tell Sarah that she, Mom was worried and upset. Sarah never called me, so telling her in my email was the best I could do. I definitely do not accept the accusation that I've burned all of Sarah's emotional lifelines. Sarah's doing that all on her own. Commenter: It sounds like Lily also found out that you were working in Hollywood and conveniently just showed up. OP replies, I see where you're coming from, but Lily is a RN and loves her job. She was in LA for something work-related and doesn't have any interest in the film industry. She's never asked me for any favors either. All right, Escalation Squad. I'm actually gutted. She ghosted her best friend of years. The second a controlling boyfriend showed up, then crawled back out of nowhere. Not with an apology, but with, hey, can you get my fiancé a job? And when OP didn't reply fast enough to a celebrity selfie, I guess you're too much of a celebrity to respond. At what exact moment did you go from, maybe there's hope for this friendship, to, yeah, this girl is gone forever? And real talk, if your best friend vanished for a year and only resurfaced to ask for a career favor for their trash fiancé, would you reply, block, or do exactly what OP just did, and finally close the door? Drop it below. I read every single one. If this one made you as sad and angry as it made me, smash that like, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell, because next story escalates even harder. Love you all. Protect your peace and your real friends. See you in the next one. Much love.